So, for example, if I can make you better at a sport, whether it be baseball, football, golf, or anything, quicker, you're going to enjoy that sport more, play it more often, right? That's my goal, is to get more people that are coming into the game playing better and enjoying it more.
So I can see both sides of it because golf is very expensive, and I can understand people's frustration. I want to get fit. Here's another thing I have to spend money on. But I would say the same thing to anybody. Do you work for free? Do you own a store? Do you work for a corporation? Do you expect your knowledge and expertise to be given for free? I would say you don't, and you wouldn't be happy if that was the case. So there's value in it. I should say, if you...
Hey y'all, welcome back to Par for the Course. Some really strong reactions on the paid for fittings or free fittings. Adam representing MyGolfSpy, Ian, Matt, and Ryan from TXG up in Canada. Each one of them giving strong arguments for or against the other model and why it works for them. I have a completely different take on each one of theirs. So I will be playing some clips, reacting to some videos that each one of them placed on their YouTubes recently, and just give my thoughts and reactions and my overall perspective on why they're both wrong. Stick with me.
I think the industry has done pretty poor job of growing the game. I think if we were to start it all over again, I think it could be done differently, If the industry really was interested in growing the game, they would do fittings for free and give money back guarantees. I've been on both sides. So yes, I own MyGolfSpy, but prior to that, I owned a fitting business, and that's what we did for close to a decade. And I've also worked with retailers and gone in and done something exactly like that. Trial and error, charge for fittings or give for free and see what happens. And it's interesting to see what happens. So yeah, that's why I think it brings more golfers in, gives more golfers opportunities to improve faster. And the quickest way to make a golfer for life is to have them hit the sweet spot faster, get that par quicker, and get that birdie on the scorecard as fast as they can. And I feel like you can do that.
That was a little bit of my take as well. I was kind of, I guess I was waiting for the punchline on that one, and it didn't seem to come as an industry solution. It seemed there was a MyGolfSpy solution in that they're going to relaunch the fitting tool to fit 14 clubs, and it will be free, not $9. And that's a good solution for MyGolfSpy to offer a fitting tool. But I'm like you, I didn't hear something on there. I mean, been doing this for 20 years, OEM, working for independents for 12 years. I know the business model does not work. It does not stack up if you do it for free unless you're a high volume big box
store. It must
store.
be a lot of volume.
It's
necessary.
volume. It's a volume thing, and that's like we were saying at the start. I mean, do you and I? Do we want to be that volume shop that kind of it needs to be in order to make that jive? I mean, we've done buy one get ones, the BOGO stuff in the past. We know what the conversion rates are. Adam's run his business and he found a certain result. That doesn't mean it applies to the whole industry. That did not work for us. We maybe converted at 30-40%, given the same experience, same facility, same shaft, same fitters. And then the paid version was a conversion of about 70%.
So on either side of this equation, I can actually put this into terms that make sense for me in my daily 9 to 5. So I work in the dental industry, and we have a very similar argument going on where there are your more traditional dental offices that are fee for service and charge your boutique type fees, which would be your TXG in this equation. And we also have another model on the other side, which is probably like Medicaid, public health, some of your lower reimbursement plans, and that would represent what Adam's talking about. And honestly, both of these models exist for a reason, and I think there are reasons that the TXG model thrives, as well as reasons why the MyGolfSpy Golf for All bring, come one, come all type of model comes into the equation. I understand the reasons for both of them. So I don't think either one of them is wrong. They're arguing for what their greater interests are. The TXG is definitely arguing for, the boutique model where, golf really has been for the longest period of time. While it seems like the MyGolfSpy is to bring golf to the masses, to bring in your unwashed people who typically haven't participated in golf, and that's through more access to the game.
Okay. This isn't about TXG. It's not about MyGolfSpy. This is about golfers and the consumer and growing the game. Okay. You can keep charging. That's your business model. Okay. That is TXG related. What I'm saying is, I was brought into a retailer to bring more people into the door at one point. And they said, how can we get more people to come in here and spend more money and help more golfers? So we did the fitting versus free fitting. The free fitting brought more people in. And if you're a competent fitter, it actually sold more equipment. Okay. Led to happier golfers that shot lower scores, that came back more often actually by getting the free fitting. They bought more stuff from that store. They came back for more fittings for more clubs. Okay. So in the end, you're actually paying off that equipment that you just mentioned, that $75,000, way faster by offering free fittings. Now, to your point where you have a waiting list, once again, that's a TXG problem. That's not a golfer problem, right? So open up more stores, fit more people. And also, I look at it as the pyramid, right? What you're doing is serving the top of the pyramid. You're serving the people that are willing to pay for a fitting, because it's also a weeding out system. You're saying, I feel like if you pay us $50, you're going to be more likely to pay for our person's time, and you're probably more likely to buy equipment. The problem is that only serves the top of the pyramid, and there's 25 million golfers, okay, in the rest of that pyramid.
So what Adam speaks to here is really a consumer-focused position. He thinks about everything in terms of the consumer. He does not even consider how it equates to his business model, or maybe he even does and says, if we offer up free items, I will have somebody that comes back more often, spends more money with me on an ongoing basis. I've seen where that is also true in my business life. So I don't think he has an argument, that is directly towards the TXG. It's really just a consumer focused argument. In this next clip that I'm going to show from TXG, it is a very entrepreneur business focused argument. So I understand that as well. I'm not saying that TXG doesn't care about their customers. They obviously do. They provide a personalized service, but where their focus lies and how they achieve their end goal comes from two totally different positions.
Depth of knowledge to put together components, analyze, the golf swing, such a fast moving, discipline.
Also, the amount of time. The fitting is anywhere from an hour to 3 hours you're spending with someone. Yeah. So if it takes you 3 hours to pick out a pair of shoes, I don't think that's exactly the normal transaction that occurs. So I can see both sides of it, because golf is very expensive, and I can understand people's frustration. I want to get fit. Here's another thing I have to spend money on. But I would say the same thing to anybody. Do you work for free? Do you own a store? Do you work for a corporation? Do you expect your knowledge and expertise to be given for free? I would say you don't, and you wouldn't be happy if that was the case. So there's value in it. I should say, if you find value in the fitting process, you should be willing to pay for it. If you don't, then that's probably why you think it should be free. Yeah, that's what I think.
Yeah, exactly.
As it relates to Matt's last point, I'm going to pick on that just a little bit in terms of his reference to, if you find value in fittings and you pay for it. I don't think it has to do with the value proposition. Most golfers do not think about fitting in terms of an essential part of golf. However, as someone who recently went through their first professional fitting, I wouldn't do it differently again. I would not select clubs without the involvement of a professional fitter. But that is not something that is being marketed to golfers. It's your direct to consumer model. So a lot of golfers, do not see the value in it, will never ever go see a professional fitter because that's just not something that the golf industry communicates is super important. The more you play, the more you understand that you may not be getting the best out of your game. That's how I got there. I had been playing the same irons for years, and I just felt like with my swing speed and talent that I wasn't getting the most out of my clubs, which led me to go get fit and see what that investment brought me. So there are a lot of golfers out there that either just play it on the weekend, pick up the clubs once a month. However, I'm a multi, round per week or at least once a week player. You just don't have the bulk of golfers that are getting that much golf in every week. So that's why they don't value a fitting in the same way that somebody who's a member at a club or just spends a lot more money on golf and, has taken a high interest in the game and improving consistently.
From the big box experience, which I have worked for, that's where I started in the golf industry. If you want to exclude picking range balls and cleaning carts, the goal is to have people find something that's going to work well for them, because there is an inconsistency in a lot of players' golf games. And there's an expected level of service once you go to get a fitting and you are looking to pay for it. For us, for example, again, we charge, and if you want to talk about COVID or not, but we have a massive waiting list and a massive demand for our services, because overall, if you look at the satisfaction of golfers who have gone through fittings, and in a lot of cases, free fittings from, say, larger retailers or OEM demo days where there might be a lack of training for certain individuals that in some cases are seasonal employees, all of those things, it's hard to attract the knowledgeable people because they're either somewhere else or they're not in the golf industry. They were in it and then they left.
So what Ryan references here is the golf industry has a talent problem and retention. So he doesn't believe there's enough competent fitters out there to do what TXG does. And that is truly a golf industry problem, that there's not a business model that sustains the best, finest, enough schools, programs around the schools that create golf fitters to put people in the right equipment. Then you'd have a more varied mix. Right now, there's really no in between. There's either the free model or the paid, more expensive fitting model, which again, Adam pointed out that that's the top of the pyramid. So the golf industry is itself, it is in this little mesh point where things are changing.
Is years and years of experience, and it's very, very difficult to recreate that, and that's why I stand on the side of the fact that professional knowledge is worth.
Yeah, no, I mean, obviously, we agree, and Adam's take to the sort of everything has a cost sort of thing was, he ran this business, and he had a business, a club fitting business, and and his experience in his own business was actually they done more business when they gave the fittings away for free.
Okay.
And of course, when you open it up for free, you may convert 5 out of 10 fits into sales, whereas in here we maybe convert 3 out of 4 into sales. That's fine. We have a higher conversion rate. The likelihood is because people are investing their cash to come and do it.
They have the intention to not just kind of come and kick tires and stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah. So in conclusion, after watching that last clip from Ian, here's my ultimate perspective and why I think they're both incorrect. I think both models have to exist for the golf industry to thrive. You have a free model for your beginner golfers who haven't yet found a reason to go get fitted. They just want to get into the game. Now, I know that, there's probably a lack of competent fitters when you go into a PGA Superstore. No shade, a Dick's Sporting Good. These aren't your most competent fitters, and that may mean, that you don't get the best information or you get generic information. Or sometimes when you go to Dick's, you can't even find an associate or know what their hours are. Again, as someone who's been playing golf for 9 years, I have found a reason to go get fit and why it fits my game and then why the investment made sense for me. So I think both models have to exist So they're, to me, just watching through some of the clips and watching both interviews, there does seem to be a bit of protection or just protection of their model on the TXG side, when in actuality, having free fittings does not threaten the lifeblood of what they do, because you're always going to have a niche of golfers who are willing to pay high dollar to be the best that they can at the game. I mean, it is a game that you do spend money on, so you're always going to have that built-in customer base that's willing to come see you. So if there's 1,000 MyGolfSpys that pop up offering free fittings, it's not going to change the segment of golfer that typically caters to TXG and what they do. So from arguing both their perspectives, I would say they're both wrong and that they need each other to thrive. So y'all, thank y'all for joining. Appreciate y'all viewing the video to the end. If you can, please go like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Greatly appreciated. Go check out their videos. I'll link them down in the description. A lot of insightful thoughts from both. A little bit longer format. I just took some highlights from each of the videos. So hope to see you here soon. Keep supporting the channel. Again, like, share, and subscribe so I can keep bringing you awesome news about golf, training aids, and other things that are going around the golf world. Talk to y'all soon. Bye.